Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I'd like to do a segment of that, and maybe we include that in a channel where we can have anyone and everyone post their lists or post, their faction and ask for certain replacements or, what would be the best way of building a. We say cheaper because obviously we are talking financially here at the end of the day because, like we say, we don't have it in this pit of money and we can't go buying 3 kill rigs or three, battle wagons or whatever. And so yeah, we might be able to include a segment where people, where anyone and everyone can just post their army and ask for advice on a cheap way, financial cheap way of running a faction, and we can talk about that. I think that's probably the easiest way to do that. Now, I have just pressed go live. Now, I don't know if you guys are coming through. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Can you hear yourself though? Oh, but that's because you got the phone coming through, right? So if you turn the phone off, there's no echo. Right? Oh, right. Right. That's odd. So wait a second. I need to test this for myself then. So if I turn the volume up on here, right, and you. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Oh, so you are coming through on YouTube, but not very loudly. Hmm. I would like to do that. I just don't know how I would do that. I think I would like it for listeners to be able to hear people who are tuning in. I think that would be the best way about it. But how do I do that? Yeah, right. Yeah, he's been doing that. Anyway, very quick introduction from me. Hi, my name is Sam. I run Clumsy Orc Studios. I'm joined with Rob, who is with me as well, who is a coach for our Manchester or Stockport Academy Gaming Evenings. And we've also got John Wilson with us, who is one of our members and comes down and plays at what we have dubbed the Skipton Academy night. We want to be doing a Ask the Coaches segment every week, probably every Thursday, probably at the same time, 8 p.m. UK time. And we'll have a bit of an agenda. Now, today's session is a bit of a recce, really, just to see how everything works. And then we'll probably start doing this a bit more structured. We do have a bit of an agenda, but we're probably going to go off topic quite a bit. We're going to be talking about the Games Workshop news roundup, any sort of tournament talk. There's quite a bit of tournament talk going on as it is as well. And yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, this is probably the first of many. So welcome if you are tuning in. And if you are tuning in, thank you very much for listening to us, great voices. Cool. Right, let's get this on the road. How can I make this work? Someone has just said, yo, Metazan. Oh, is that you, Metazan? Nice. Thank you. I mean, it's not, like I say, it's not massive at the moment. It's not like a massive deal. I think this is genuinely just for our members to tune in. I know that I can't be present in all every evening, and I know that it is just good sometimes to sanity check some lists, sanity check some hobby choices, and we all like talking about Warhammer, don't we? At the end of the day, right. I still would like to sort out this. Is it maybe a Discord thing? What if I turn? Yeah. Right, let's start with speaker volume. Turn you up. Try talking now. Whoa. 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 That was in my skull. Cool. Well, that's good. That means I can turn you up on here. And that probably means that it's coming through on YouTube a little bit better. Let me double check. Right. Right. Find out. You're going to hear a lot of echo. Right. Find out. You're going to hear a lot of echo. Right. Find out. You're going to hear a lot of echo. Right. Find out. You're going to hear a lot of echo. Right. You're going to hear a lot of echo. Right. Well, I think, God, that was painful. I think people can hear. Anyway, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, John. Aren't you Irish? I thought you were. Are you part Irish, Rob? Fair enough. And I'm not really a Yorkshireman. I'm from Kent. Yeah, I'm South London. South London. Fucking South London, Anna. Hey. Yeah. No. Yeah, I did do gravy. Who's this now? What are you doing? Oh God! Right. Okay. So Luke Stubbins and I. Right. Let's move on to some of the juicy stuff then, shall we? Right. So Luke Stubbins and I had a game last night. And for those of you who don't know who Luke Stubbins is one of our members who attends our Leeds gaming nights, and he predominantly plays knights. Sorry, part of the introduction should have been what we all play. So I predominantly play orcs, obviously Clumsy Orc, and as a sort of a bit of spice, I also play Space Wolves. They play very similar, to be honest. Just Space Marines wear armor and orcs don't. And I do dabble in the Eldari sometimes. I do like me some bikes and Wind Riders, which I'm starting to experiment with a little bit more. I know, mate. The dinosaurs. Oh God, I was so hyped. Nah, I was so hyped when I saw those. The Exodites, because they're called Exodites, they have been banging on the door for, I would say, years. They've been in all the sort of the Eldar lore, haven't they? The Exodites are Eldar who fled from the She Who Thirst, basically Slaanesh, which they created because they fucked around for too much. And then they decided to go feral and live in the wild and away from everybody. So then they created this whole lore around it being Exodites, and that's what they call them. But I'm here for those models, mate. I think, don't get me wrong, yes, it is very fantastical, but it's part of the game. Everything in Warhammer is fantastical, and I am really looking forward to putting some paint on those models and sort of spending a good 3 days, if not more, painting those. I think that'd be great. Anyway, I played Luke Stubbins last night, and Luke Stubbins predominantly plays Imperial Knights, and I played my Green Tide, and I can tell you now it did not go well for the Knights. He, I think, was doing Purge the Foe. In fact, I know he was doing Purge the Foe, and we'll talk about dispositions as well. But before we do. Purge the Foe versus Take and Hold. So that's not a great matchup already. And then Knights versus Green Tide is also not a good matchup. Anyway, he's asked me, he's just sent me a message now saying, in 11th edition Warhammer, if a Titanic unit has the towering keyword and touches the footprint of a ruin, it can indeed see and be seen through ground floor windows. However, many competitive formats use a house rule where ground floors are solid ground. Okay, fine. How much of the barricade type terrain, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So just to basically be clear on Luke's question now, the moment you tow in, you can see into and out of a terrain footprint. However, the ground floor will still be line of sight blocking. It will still be solid. And if a unit is behind the wall, unless you can physically see them with any part of your Titanic model, you won't be able to shoot them. That is how I would rule that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is the right way of doing that. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, everybody gets the towing in rule now, don't they? Yeah. 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 Well, we've already talked about the Games Workshop news roundups, new models and reveals, and yeah, dinosaurs. They included beast daggers in that kill team box, which is cool. But as an orc player, I know they're doing a lot of orc releases, and I know we haven't seen all the orc releases yet. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what they did for 10th as well, wasn't it? They did a online battle for Space Marines and Necrons, and they released. I can't remember what they released now, but I'm sure it was like I don't know, the Catan probably. Sorry, that's what I meant. I didn't mean Necrons. I meant Tyranids. I knew I skipped an edition, gents. Sorry. But yes, it was the Nids. They did it for the Nids, and I can't remember what they revealed. I can't remember. Do you? It could have been. It was not. They were all in the box. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was later. I think that was one of the reveals afterwards because I was really because I do like I'm partial to a Tyranid, and specifically the Gene Stealers. I do like me some Gene Stealers. But yeah, I think that was coming out afterwards. Yeah, I would have liked them to have revealed something with Beast Snagger orcs. That would have been nice because the Beast Snagger range, I guess, of the orcs. Don't get me wrong, the orc range is massive right now, and it always has been, and it always will be. But they released, obviously, was it 2 years ago now, probably, this expansion to the orc range, which all revolved around Beast Snaggers, and you got this one tank kit called the Killer or Hunter Rig, and then you got the Beast Snaggers on foot, the Squighog boys, and a Beast Snagger boss on foot, and that was it. And you can't, unlike the Orc boys, you can't have 20 Beast Snaggers and 2 characters in that unit. You can only have one character in a 20 beast snagger unit. So considering it was a kill team, say that again. For Orc boys, you can have 2 of any character. Yeah, so you can literally have Gaz Kulthracker and a Weird Boy in the 20-man unit Orcs, and you can teleport Gaz around the board. That's 2 of any character to an Orc boy unit. You can't do the same for Beast Snaggers. You can't have, because the current build for Orc boys is to have a War Boss and a Pain Boy. So you got your Captain and your Apothecary in a 20-man unit of Orc boys, but you can't do that in the Beast Snaggers, sadly. A Beast Boss and a Pain Boy. One, either or. Yeah. I didn't catch that. Yeah, you sure. But then at that point, a Pain Boy with 10 Orc boys is not really very. It's not very optimal. It's not very good. It doesn't do anything. The Beast Snaggers already have a 6-up feel and pain. The Pain Boy is giving them a 5-up feel and pain. Don't get me wrong. That is a 100% increase. But if your choice is between a Beast Boss who does devastating wounds on the charge, or a Pain Boy that gives you from a 6-up feel and pain to a 5-up feel and pain, I know which one I'm picking. Yeah, you go with devs. And it's not just any devs, like a small amount of devs. I went into a NDK the other day with 10 Beast Snaggers and 1 Beast Boss, and I think he did something like 12 devastating wounds. Yeah. He gets, off the top of my head, I think he gets 6 attacks, 7 on the wire, and because he's attached to Beast Snaggers, the Beast Snaggers let him re-roll the hit roll. And then because I was running the Beast Snagger detachment, which is called the Hunt, or the Big Hunt, there's a strat to give them sustained hits on 5s and 6s. So I rolled my 7 attacks and I scored a number of 5 and 6s. And then I re-rolled anything that wasn't a 5 or a 6 because he's hitting on 2s. And I got a bunch more. And then he's got anti-vehicle 4+ devastating wounds. So I rolled 6. Yeah, I rolled 6 4-ups and did 12 dev wounds. And on top of the wounds, yeah. Yeah. To be fair, it wasn't on top of the wounds because I picked the chopper because it has more attacks. But it's only strength 6 AP1. But I didn't care because it's the dev wounds and it's anti-vehicle 4+. So that gives you the 6 attacks. So everything that lands on a 4-up is just go straight through. There's no limit on that either, which is fun. Anyway, yeah, the release for the dinosaurs was really, really cool. But I would have liked to have seen just any sort of, just a little beast boss or beast mini lieutenant boss, snagger lieutenant, something. That would have been cool. Yeah, potentially. Fast attack. Oh yeah. You'll see the new bike range. They haven't obviously released all the orcs yet, have they? Because they still got the Megalobs, I expect. Pardon me. I think they'll do some new Megalobs. New model. The Megalobs are really old now. Probably the same as the Warbikes. They've done a new truck, which is really cool. They released that recently, didn't they? That's just a new truck. It just replaces the current truck. No, it'll be Marines and Orcs will be at the same time. Yeah, they did that for 10th as well with Leviathan. So they did Tyranids and Space Marines at the same time. Yeah, they did the same for 9th, didn't they, with Necrons and Marines? Yeah. So they'll do the same. It won't be long now. They'll probably. If I was a betting man, I expect to see a preview on Monday. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see that. I saw that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I agree. Yeah. Do you think? No, no. I don't think they're missing any fast attack, are they? They got the Orcs have got the Deathcopters. They've got the gazillion types of buggies. They've just released that new buggy or old buggy into new form because that's an old model. And Wazdaka came out as well. Ah, they're great. Yeah, they're great. But this is one of the reasons why I have collected orcs is because the orcs have always had a really large and comprehensive range, and that's one of the beauties of orcs as a faction to collect, as well as. I was yeah. Go on, John. Go on. What are your thoughts on these positions? No, so sorry. So just yeah, I think you meant that everyone was playing the same game and to the same rules, whereas now it's the opposite. Yeah, yeah. I but that's I think that's just you, Rob. I think that's just your gameplay. Huh, huh. Not always. No, no. There was well, 8th to 9th was fine. There was nothing hugely changing from 8th to 9th. 9th to 10th was when it all changed, because all of a sudden in 10th, you were not paying for any of the upgrades. You were not paying any taxes for weapon options or anything like that. And that was a big overhaul. There was a lot. A lot of people who disliked that overhaul from 9th to 10th. That as well. That as well. That was a big change, and the psychic phase was very divided by the community. Obviously, everybody who did do psychic wanted to keep it, because obviously it was something that just lost. And not only did they just lose it, everything that was psychic didn't mean anything. Didn't do anything. You got the psychic keyword? Cool. But that was it. Whereas now they've obviously gone back and go, actually, the psychic needs to mean something, and it does. It's actually quite important now. You know, ignoring the terrain and the benefits of cover, whereas it wasn't. And so I think that was a bit of a blow. I think from 9th to 10th. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my god, the beginning of Wraith Knights. Here, catch these 4d6 mortal wounds that I can auto do, because my Farseer lets me change one of those dice to a 6. Great. Yeah. 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 I would echo what John has said as well, with regards to a bit more personalized with regards to lists. Yeah, you are having to pay for certain equipment, so the list building is ever so slightly more granular. They've taken a small baby step backwards with regards to paying for things that are clearly better than others. Like, I don't know, let's say your well, there you go. There's an example. I didn't want to put the whole Space Wolf shield as an example. I was actually looking for like a melter example, but yes, that is absolutely one. And so that makes it a bit more personal as well, because you're having to decide whether you want to invest those points, or do you want to save a bunch of points and put another unit in, which you can. An example of this is assault terminators. I think with hammers are 180. But if you choose to not take them with hammers, and you take 5 Terminators with lightning claws, they're 155. And it's all of a sudden, oh, 155. Oh, yeah, that's quite tempting for 5 Terminators with lightning claws, especially if you have access to Oath. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So that's always a nice thing. But yes, back to dispositions. I've had a bit of a play around, and I was actually listening to some. I was actually listening to oh god, what are they called? Not tabletop tactics is the UK one, and they were talking about dispositions, and I would agree. I already had a feeling because I've been playing a lot of Taken Hold. As someone who know me, I play Horde Orcs and I play Terminator Wolves as a main, as a main way of playing, and both of those are Taken Hold. And we were talking about this last night actually as well. That a lot of people are taking Purge because obviously you want to play the game. You don't want to have to do actions, which the other three dispositions are about. Whether it's disruption or priority assets or recon, they all involve you doing actions. Whereas Purge the Foe doesn't, and Purge the Foe it's just kill something. Yeah. But we did talk about last night. We did talk about last night that Purge into Taking Hold. This is my opinion, and maybe John will correct me here. That isn't a good pairing for Purge because, well, maybe, but here's I feel I'm being called out here. Carry on. That very much felt like a challenge there, Rob. Oh right, yeah. Well, I haven't played enough. Yeah, I would agree. I haven't played it huge. In fact, I don't think I've played any reconnaissance just yet. However, the I have read them, and it does seem that it does put you at a disadvantage into purge. But as I was listening today, there are ways that you could play reconnaissance and play reconnaissance with units that just don't die. So the reason why in my opinion, again, correct me if I'm entirely wrong, in my opinion, purge the foe is at a disadvantage to take and hold, and this is just from my experience, I guess, because I've done take and hold, and when I'm doing take and hold, I'm building lists that won't die. I'm putting units into my list that have the best chances of surviving against most things. So an example of this is 10 Terminators. Now, I can't remember who I was talking to yesterday. I think it was Danny or Luke or a combination of, and we were talking about how do you get rid of a 10 unit of Terminators. And I talked through my defensive choices. Now, defensive choices for Space Wolf Terminators is, and as a take and hold as well, don't forget. So you not only have to kill me, but one of your secondaries from Purge Throne to take and hold is to take an objective that you didn't hold before. It isn't just kill a unit. So your three main scoring, and there's a fourth one as well, which I believe is take your opponent's home. The three main ones is one, hold an objective, which is fine, unless someone. Okay, but here's my argument to that is that when I've built my take and hold lists, it includes units that have huge amounts of OC. So I don't actually have to kill you like I did with Luke last night. I didn't kill his knights. I literally walked onto the objective, stayed outside of 6, and put something like 15 OC on there with Orc Boys. I've taken your objective. I don't need to kill you. I just have to deny you those points. Reavers are great. I think a 5-man unit of Reavers for 75 points is a fantastic choice because they also have deep strike and they've got grab shoes, which is the lesser part. But they also have precision and AP1 on their combat knives. And I think it's quite good for a 75-point unit. Anyway, what? Oh, right. Larger range as well. Anyway, back to Purge the Foe and Take and Hold. With Purge the Foe, your objectives are hold an objective, which I can relatively easily deny. The second one is kill a unit, which is the whole stick of Take and Hold is have units that don't die easily. So it is an uphill battle for you because I've geared to not dying easily. And so you are already at a disadvantage there, unless I've built a really poor list. And the third one is to take an objective from me. And again, I've made sure that all my units have high OC. So an example of this is a 10-man unit of Terminators, Space Wolf Terminators anyway, who I have given the extra OC to. So a 10-man unit of Terminators is 22 OC. They are T5 with -1 to wound and 4 wounds each. When you shoot them, I give them AOC. When you charge them, I give them AOC. If you charge them, they fight on death on a 4-up. And if you charge them, or at the end of your movement phase, I'm probably, in my head, going to rapid ingress Logan Grimnar so that he is within 12 inches of the front of the Terminators, so that if you do charge them and you decide that you want to spend the CP to, like make your unit a bit more lethal, I'm going to make sure that that costs you 2 CP. So I start layering all these things. And not only that, I've probably put more Terminators on that objective now. I start layering all these buffs. And yeah, you might, let's look, I played into, who did I play now? I played with my Space Wolves into, it was Andy. I played into Andy. And he, with his Custodes, managed to kill 7 Terminators in a single go, which is a really high number. And Logan Grimnar was there. He did all the buffs and everything else. And in the end, those 4 Terminators that were left managed to clap back hard enough with Lone Grimnight and a Heroic Intervention to wipe the Custodian's unit out and just move on to the objective and have more OC on that. So I do believe that Purge the Foe has an uphill battle into taking hold. I think Purge the Foe, I think, don't get me wrong, it's perfectly possible. But like you were saying a second ago, Purge the Foe into Reconnaissance has an easier matchup than into taking hold. That would be my experience. I do feel there's definitely an element of that. I haven't nailed it down yet because each one obviously does have 5 different missions to play, and it's far too much for my little brain to take on just yet. So I've mainly focused on taking hold because that's just the pool I fell into. And yes, I've played a number of games now into Purge. A number, because a lot of people are doing Purge, and I just felt that in the games I've played into Purge, I've always, like last night, we got to the table, I put my old boys down into Luke with his knights, and he had Purge, and he couldn't kill enough of them. He couldn't take me off. He couldn't kill enough of them, and so it was just. I think it was a very low score on his behalf and a high one for me. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. He didn't. He didn't need to. He did get through. I think I only had like 20 Orc boys left at the end. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Correct. It wasn't enough because there's so many places you can hide. Not only that, I can. Well, the ability from the Orcs is that you can surge. Engagement range is now 2 inches, so I only have to finish within 2 inches and you engage with me. Hidden also means that you have to be within 15 of me to be able to shoot me because I'm going to get into the terrain. And that's not where you want to be. If you're within 15 inches of your target, that means that the second unit of Orc boys behind it is going to be able to come and like, tag you because an advance in charge, a war, and everything else. All of a sudden, you've got another 20 Orc boys in front of you with a war boss and everything else. They all have a 5 vulnerable save. I can bring back Orc boys for 1 CP. And it was just very hard. But yeah, he did get through loads. I think I only had, I'm fairly sure I had 1 unit of Orc boys with Gaz, who I kept relatively safe. And I had 1 more unit of Orc boys with something like 10 or 12 in it. And that was it. He killed everything else. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Don't Yukari have like a really tough unit? What are they called? Grotesques or something? Racks? Mm, yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't ever go, oh, I'm going to play Drukhari and take it hold. No, I don't think that's. I agree. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Fast. I mean, I think that's always been the case, though, isn't it? Like movement wins games. That's always been my motto. Yeah. Is that the million poxwalkers? Yeah, fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Although, isn't there a restriction? Oh, I assume the restriction has gone away now because you could only use the stratagem to bring back a unit once per game. Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Who? Sorry, orcs. So I was looking at this obviously, and you know we were saying obviously Drukhari can't do taking hold. I don't know how viable it is for orcs to do recon. I They can, but the point per model or per unit isn't that of a Drukhari or an Eldar player. So an example of this is you can get a 75 point unit for Eldar who can fly 14 inches, move 14 inches, can advance probably auto 6 to make it 20, and you're doing your reconnaissance. Whereas orcs, probably the cheapest one you have is a buggy that can move yes. You can just move yes in a straight line, however in many inches it wants. Um, but the point for that unit is not 75 points. It's yeah, I think it's something along the lines of 80 to 100 points. So I'm sorry, 90 to 100 points for the cheapest buggy. Um, you can't lose those models. I lie. I've lied entirely. Boom Dakistan is working in 70 points. I've just lied through my teeth. Um, yeah, don't tempt me. Boom Dakistan wagons. We were talking earlier, weren't we, about building armies that are cheap financially. And I think that's one of the biggest deterrents for orc players to play Speed War. And one of the reasons why Games Workshop have brought out a new detachment called Speed War, rather than what it was, which was bear with me, Cult of Speed. So you had Cult of Speed, which was all to do with speed freaks, and then they've released a new one called Speed War. So the both revolve around speed freaks, and the Cult of Speed only revolved around units with speed freaks, whereas the Speed War, which is very, very confusing, gives bonuses to trucks and to orcs. So there's a stratagem here, hold on, for special ammo, and that's just any orc unit, whereas the other one didn't have any strats like this. And it gives the orc unit anti-monster and anti-vehicle 4+. And that's just any orc unit. No, probably not. In fact, I haven't as of yet. The only yes for secondaries you can pick tactical or fixed. Oh God. So that's one of the things. Yes. So Wind Riders used to be able to do that. So Wind Riders used to be able to do this. I've seen a number of players pull this out of the bag. They run all the Wind Rider bikes, all the bikes on bikes, and they don't attach them to anything. And because they're singles, they just leave them in reserve and they just bring them behind you and engage on all fronts. And they're only 45 points a model. So I've seen people do that. Yes. For 45 points. And it just keeps on racking up for engage on all fronts. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. No, it's probably worthwhile having a look at some point. Once I get the Eldar up and running. Like I said, I'm currently working on them. I don't want to rush it. I'm very conscious about the price. Again, we go back to the actual financial cost of Eldar is actually quite high. So I'm very conscious of that. But I would like to play around with fixed. Have you looked at the fixed cards? Are they the same? Right. Right. Yeah. No, I might have a look at fixed. What? Dedicated transports. Huh. Interesting. That is quite interesting, actually. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, because there's two different units. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's the only way to do it, isn't it? Yeah, because I was, yeah. I was. That's actually a great shout because I was talking to somebody else about this as well about you can, how you can rapid ingress to an Overwatch, but actually I stopped myself and realized, oh shit, you can't do that anymore, can you? Because you can't spend two. Yeah, but obviously those are two separate units, aren't they? Yeah, that's great. Hmm. Yeah, that'd be fun. If I was a Salamander player, I 100% would be doing that just to ruin people's days. Yeah, because it's so what you because it is at the end of the moving phase, isn't it? And they can't move anything else. You all the targets are now exposed. You just get to pick something to drop down and just cook. Ah, John, get out of town now. Come on, stop it. Within 12. So they're strength 4 base or strength 5? that smile. Yeah. I don't think it's that many points, actually, because I was already looking at this. Can I do this with Space Wars? Oh, anything. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you now. Yep. They're about to charge onto you, and you just overwatch them, and then they fail the battle shock, and now they can't take that objective. Sucks to be you. Right. Yeah, do it. I'm fed up with the Knights. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you can do that with a beast boss on Squigosaur now. Yeah, yeah. Someone mentioned it today, and I was like, oh shit, you can. And in the detachment, the big hunt, you can do unstoppable momentum stratagem, which is roll 1d6 for every model in the unit, every 4 plus of mortal wounds. So you can do that one is capped at 6. But there's nothing stopping you from doing. Oh, yes, there is. They're both in the charge phase, aren't they? Yeah. Why? Normal JPIs or Vanguard bits? Okay. They do. Here's my argument to JPIs though, and I was talking to somebody else about this the other day because we're talking about Space Wolves, and he wanted to do the whole Take and Hold and the Terminators, and I saw him and I just sort of reached out and just started chatting. And one of the biggest difficulties I think when list building is finding a unit that can a cheap unit. By the way, we're not just talking any unit because any unit can probably do this. A cheap unit, a cheap skirmish unit that can kill 5 scouts. What cheap unit kills 5 scouts? No, no, no. But they're 2 wounds, 4 up. So you got to kill. You got to kill 10. You got to cause 10 wounds. Mm. Yeah. Yes, but then I'm saving. Then I'm saving on 5. So then only 6 go through and 1 stays alive. Are they 75? 85. Yeah. I agree. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people run JPIs. I personally don't. Just because. Um, so I again struggle with this because I look at the space rules and go, "Hey, Thunderwolf Cavalry probably the same-ish for 15 points more," but they're not because they can't hide, so they're not as good. Grey Hunters, Blood Claws are expensive. You can only take them in 10s. Grey Hunters, you can now take in 5s, and they are OC3. They move 7 inches and can shoot and charge. Got rapid fire. They've got 2 shots, rapid fire 1, so 15 shots for a 5-man unit. AP nothing though. They're fine. They're fine. If I was doing a Marine though, I would probably just take more scouts because it's just cheaper. Whoa. Combi Lieutenant Scout 2 JPIs. Yeah, because it's priority. $320. Yeah. 2, so Combi Lieutenant as well. I think the Combi Lieutenant is probably it's a luxury. But then you are spending $320. So I'd probably drop one of the JPIs if I was doing that. Because 320 is a lot of points on action monkeys who are gonna die turn 1, maybe turn 2. Yeah, absolutely. Of course they are. Yeah. Combi Lieutenant, JPI, and Scouts are 235, which is fine. I agree. The Canadas? Skill issue. She is very squishy. She is very squishy, but yeah, she's 100 points. I would say she's an auto take in any Imperial Knights, in any Grey Knights, and in any Custodes list. All 3. Hmm. When was this? On TTS. The Alaris are not the bikes, are they? They are the flying ones. Right. You think that he needs a brick of Terminators? Right. Right. I'm actually on it now. Let's have a look. Full heroes. Okay. Well, fine. I do, and you beat my Space Wolves. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know the reactive, and I can't remember what else is either. Oh, it's something else. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm looking at his list right now, and he has got a 5-man unit of Aloes Custodes. Yeah, yeah, he can do. Yeah, 2 Ridge Seekers, Killer Assassin. Yeah, Custodian Guard times 5. Yeah, 5 of those. Yeah, 215, and then a Blade Champ on another one with the Guard, and then Trajan with the other one. No, I think it's great. On Purge as well. It's fine. Absolutely fine. I think this is a fine list. Talking of, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, man, no worries. Yeah, I'm just going to go very quickly over the pairings for Saturday, and then yeah, call it there. Unless you've got somewhere to go, John. Yeah, 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 sweet. All right, Rob. See you in a bit. Yeah, so obviously talking about Andy, I've obviously did the pairings this morning, and I saw the pairings, and it was interesting. So this is obviously for Saturday, and yeah, like I'm just gonna go through them. So round table one, we've got World Eaters versus Tau. Um, the thing is here is that I know each and every one. There's like 2 players here, maybe 3 players. I don't know, but I know everybody else at this event, and know at sort of what level they're at. So this one, for example, this World Eaters versus Tau, it's going to be very tight. Lee is the World Eater player. He's a new and upcoming World Eater player, and he's a good player. He knows the list and the faction now. Um, but Ant has been playing Tau forever. He only plays Tau, um, and sometimes he makes a few mistakes here and there, but he's only played Tau. So that one's going to be a really spicy one. I'm really looking forward to it. Second one is Leanne with Eldar versus James Brierley with Orcs. Mm. You want to know the dispositions? Yes, they are. Hold on. So yeah, of course. So I've got to go to players and list. I believe. I think I can see it from. So I can see it from here. So and I probably know most of these off the top of my head. So Leanne is doing Eldar. She is doing priority assets, and James is doing Orcs with Purge the Foe. So again, we talked about this sort of situation. I mean, like with the 3 dispositions where you do actions are just tough. you're committing some amount of points of your army to do actions, which therefore ends up not killing your opponent, and your opponent is committing their full amount of points at just killing you. And Purge. I think, in my opinion, Purge Foe is definitely one of the better ones. And in this particular one, I don't know James, but I do know Orcs. He is playing, I believe, a full Warhorde list. Yep, he's playing a full Warhorde list, and he's just going to run it. Sadly. Although looking at this list, I don't. Hold on, I'm just looking at this very quickly now. There is. It's an interesting one. I mean, I'll go through it because it is an interesting one. So for the Orc player, then he's playing he's playing Take and Hold, not Purge. So he's playing Take and Hold. So the whole conversation up until that point is mute. So Take and Hold with War Boss and 10 knobs. They are somewhat hard to shift, but not impossible. Beast Boss with Beast Snagger Boys, 20 of them, which might be a little bit harder to shift just because it is 20 wounds and they all have a 6-up feel of pain. And Eldar are renowned for doing mass amount of damage 1. Weird Boy, Pain Boy, 20 Orc Boys. So there's your second brick. So you got 2 bricks. The knobs with the War Boss is good, but it's more of a killer unit than a holding unit. And then a Beast Boss and Squig Assault on his own, which is fine, but he can't hide and only has a 5 min. A truck with probably the knobs in. It's just a truck on its own. 3 Death Copters, 5 Flash Kits, a Gorkanaut, Gretchen, Hunter Rig for the Beast Snagger Boys, 3 Killer Cans, 1 Squig Hog, 10 Storm Boys. Yeah, you don't really have to. Although the Death Storm Mega Shooter is going to hurt most Eldar because it's the 20 shotgun. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she does. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually really interested to see how that plays out. Taking hold into priority assets, they're going to be at each other's throats straight away. The next one is Chaos Knights versus Necrons. So Chaos Knights is doing Purge, and then Necrons is doing. Hold on, Carl. Taking hold, yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let's have a look here. So Serratus Knight Castigator, yeah. Knight's Abominant, Knight Despoiler, and yeah, Warpborn Stalker, Knight Rampager, Throne Mechanicum of Skulls. Don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm assuming you're looking at the screen. Yeah. Oh, this is the one that he did yesterday with loads of cultists. Yeah, we are 10 cultists, 30 cultists in total. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Danny, no, he's playing Purge. Oh, good question. Hold on. Danny is playing Taking Hold. So it's Taking Hold versus Taking Hold. Sorry. Ooh. Yeah. That's an interesting pairing. That again, I told you that some of these pairings this morning when I made them, I looked at them, I was like, oof. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And if you give it the 4-up invulnerable save from whatever his name is, something the infinite, it's quite gross. It's a shame I haven't managed to get the stuff ready to stream Saturday, but I will do for the next one. Shameless plug. The next one is the 12th of September. For table 4 is Liam versus Kieran. This is another one that I thought was quite hot. These two are both doing Purge. Yeah, Liam obviously is our coach for Stockport. Kieran is a fantastic player. Kieran only plays Grey Knights. He's very, very good. So I'm really interested. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that pairs out. I told you, I know this is just great. I know, like even the Andy Mennel versus Matt Pocock. I'm really interested to see how that goes. We all love Matt Pocock, but we know that Matt Pocock is like a top player. So I think most of the time you always root for the underdog, and I expect a lot of people will be rooting for Andy Mennel. Sorry, Matt, we love you, but yeah, we probably would like to see Andy Mennel try and put Matt Pocock through his paces there for sure. Chaos CSM, you mean? Yes, yeah. Top Chaos, no, but it's top Dark Angel or fourth Dark Angel kind or something like that. Yeah, yeah. So that's another one. Dave Ball, I'm not sure who he is. He is not a Clumsy member. And so we will inevitably be rooting for Connor Bloomfield. Sorry, Dave, we love you. But Connor Bloomfield is not only a Clumsy Orc member, but he's also playing Space Wolves. So just very quickly, let's have a look at the Space Wolf list that Connor's bringing. Close some of these tabs down. So he is doing the 2 dispositions that I have been running up until now. So you got Logan Grimnar with 5 Wolfguard Terminators, Wolfguard Battle Leader with 10 Blood Claws, so always advancing and charging. Skjal's Foretelling gives them Lance when they charge. So this is going to be a Blood Claw unit that always advances and charges and always has +1 to wound if the Wolfguard Battle Leader has anything to do with it. He's equipped with a Thunderhammer as well, and I think he gets a ludicrous amount of attacks, like 6 for a 90-point unit. And it's not even like the enhancement itself is 25 points, so the unit is 65 points. It's incredible, and he also fights on death on a 2-up. So even if you kill him, he still gets to slap you. Arjak with 10. Yeah, we've seen it. We love it. He's given them no enhancement, sadly. Well, they are, but I have, in all my lists so far, I've given them, for 15 points, I've given them the extra OC. So so when I'm running them this unit, I run exactly the same unit with the exact same loadout. It is 22 OC. Whereas this one is only 11. And the moment you start losing 3 or 4 Terminators, you go down to OC 5 or OC 6, and it only takes a Knight or an Armiger to tow on to an Egyptian, and it just takes it from you. And you're sad. Bjorn, yeah, we love it. Yeah. Oh, is that what he's? Oh, of course, yeah, exactly that, right? Bjorn, we love it. 2 CP every turn, great. Yeah, intercessors for sticky backfield. Ballistus, fine. Reroll hit rolls so long as the unit isn't below half strength. It's a fine unit for 150 points with 2 missile launchers and 2 las cannons on it. It's great. For Visibles, they're okay. If you have 45 points spare, fine. But I probably would have spent those 45 points on increasing the Wolfguard Terminators, both of them, because then all of a sudden you would have had both of these units of Terminators with 2 OC, and it would have cost you 35 points, and you would have still have 15 points left. It does, yeah. No, it does, yeah. Yeah. So both Logan Grimnar goes up. Logan Grimnar goes up to OC 6 on his own, because I think he's OC 4, I believe. He might be OC 2 actually. Let me just double check, just because it's been a while since I've double checked him. He normally dies outright when somebody wants to kill him, because I only ran him with 5. It's Arjak that survives. Oh no, so he's only OC 1 as well. So anyway, so yeah, they go up to OC 2. So the 5 man is 12, and the 11 man is 22. It's just fantastic. A Lancer, yeah, we know what it does. It's incredibly scary. If it pops off, it's great. The only thing with a Lancer is, if I was running a Lancer, I would have probably run an Iron Priest, just to give it that rapid fire one, because it has a 48-inch range. Is it on its laser destroyer? It might even be more. Right, so let's have a look here. Range on that is 72. So you got 72-inch range on the laser destroyer, and the iron. Correct. So the Iron Priest gives you rapid fire on half range, and all of a sudden you've got 3 shots from the laser destroyer at strength 14, AP 4, damage D6 plus 3, and that just pops off. And the Iron Priest is like 55 points. He is another body. He is lone up. He can do your actions for you as well if you really want. He can heal the Lancer if it really needs to. It can also stay nearby Bjorn if it really, really wants to. And if Bjorn is in combat and you want an extra hammer to get in, the Iron Priest, 55 points, can get into combat, and he re-rolls with a wound roll at damage 3 with his hammer, which is pretty good. So that's the only thing I would say. If you're taking big things like this to take out your opponent's vehicles and monsters, I'd probably include an Iron Priest. Does it heal? It might not actually, because it might just give the. In fact, I think it does. I think the Iron Priest gives rapid fire and heals, whereas a normal one gives you +1 to hit and heals. Double check it while we're here. Where is he? There we are. No, hey, I love talking about Space Wolves. So yes, he heals D3 and gives you rapid fire. Yeah. And if he's in combat and he targets a unit that's engaged with an attempted to start his vehicle, he can re-roll the wound roll. And talking of, his hammer is 4 attacks, hits on 4s, but if it's Oath, you don't care. Strength 8, AP 2, damage 3. And re-rolling the wound roll if you're in combat with the vehicle, which you probably will be because Bjorn's around. Yeah, go for it. Sorry. That's fine. I don't particularly mind it. This detachment, as it is, has doctrines. The doctrines for this one are you can have either sustained or lethal in combat, you can have +1 to your shooting, or you can have re-roll your advances and re-roll your charges. If I'm honest with you, I would be quite happy if you took away Oath and you made re-roll hit rolls a 1 CP strap, which I believe this one or Saga the Bold has. Oath at the moment, the thing is with Oath, while it's great, don't get me wrong, it's not winning the game for the Space Wolves. I know it wins the game for others, and it is a nice buff to have, of course. It's very, very strong. Any rerolls is fantastic. But what carries a list like this, if I'm honest with you, is this guy. This guy alone, Arjak Rockfist, he carries the whole thing. He gets full rerolls if it's into a character unit, and he has the anti-vehicle and anti-monster anti-monster keyword 3+, I think it is, AP2 damage 3, and he's just rerolling everything. If you took it away from everybody else, I think it'd be fine. Most of these things have rerolls anyway. The Ballistic Dreadnought has a built-in reroll. Sure. The Gladiator Lancer has a reroll. You don't need it with everything else. It's nice to have, but yeah. Yeah, we'll see. There is a lot of chat about that. And just finish off the list. Yeah, he's got 2 Thunderwolf Cavalry and another 5-man unit of Terminators. Now, this is an interesting one because I also run a 5-man unit of Wolfguard Terminators on their own, but I again pay for that 3rd enhancement at 15 points to give them +1 OC. And in my lists, they are the first ones to drop onto the middle. And my opponent has to commit at killing 5 Wolfguard Terminators with OC2 at -1 to wound. In the middle. 5, 5, 5, 10, 10. Yeah, so my second 10 is normal Terminators with the bolters and the power fist, led by a chaplain. Yeah, the captain is a nice one. Well, it's just a chaplain. You can't do that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, normal chaplains you can. Yeah. Yes, you're not allowed to take apothecaries as Space Force. Although I think the restriction has kind of gone, really, because I can't remember. There was something I found the other day. Maybe it's still there. Irrespective, it's not really important. But you can't attach anything to this. You can't attach non-Space Wolf units or characters to Space Wolf units. Hence the reason for a 10-man normal unit of Terminators with the chaplain. Mainly, and this is the reason, is because the disposition of Legends of Saga and Song gives you +1 to your charge for all Terminators. And having a 5, a 5, a 10, and a 10 with +1 to charge, and having the doctrine, talking of doctrines, Logan Grimnar's doctrine of reroll all advances and reroll all charges when you rapid ingress, or when you're on the table and then you rapid ingress, or when you have a unit on. Let's say you already have a unit on, then in your opponent's turn you rapid ingress, and in my turn I'm then going to deep strike, and then the one that was already on the board I'm going to give them advance and charge, and then I'm doing the doctrine so that everybody can reroll all advances and everyone can reroll all charges. Most of those Terminators tend to connect. And then it's a problem. Hello, we're just talking about you, weren't we? Little underdog. Fighters. Oh, sustain and lethal. Yeah, I know. I faced it when I played my Wraith list, the Eldar Wraith list into CSM at the Newcastle Teams event. He had something like 3 not defilers, what they're called, the big Terminator ones with indirect despoilers. The despoilers? No. Obliterators. There we go. I played against this CSM player who had 3 units of 2 obliterators next to a Hellbrute, and turn 1 he did his once per game indirect into the Storm Guardians, and it was painful, very, very painful. But yeah, good luck, Andy. Obviously, we are rooting for you. So then, table 7, we've got Jordan Tidswell with his Blood Angels into Luke Stubbins. Now, again, we talked about Luke Stubbins. Luke Stubbins is a very good player, Imperial Knight player. He's been playing Imperial Knights for a very long time. He's won a number of events. And so I think this is going to be an uphill battle for Jordan. The dispositions for this one, well, I've lost it now. Let's have a look. Luke is Purge and Jordan is Priority Assets. So again, it's just a tough one because Jordan's going to he's already got an uphill battle, I believe, and he's going to be committing units to doing actions. Whereas, and Blood Angels all damage too. Yeah. Again, it's going to be a tough one for him. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, good luck, Jordan. I think that was a really, really tough one for you. This one's also very interesting. Eldar into Grey Knights. Again, I know both players here. Tom Evans has been playing Eldar for a very long time, and Jonathan is a relatively newer player. And I think this is Jonathan's first event as well. So I think Jonathan will have an uphill battle, but I think he's just here to just have a good time, enjoy the games, and learn the factions, and learn his own faction as well as he goes. Yeah, absolutely, and that's what events are all about. And just get yourself out there, and well done to Jonathan for getting himself onto his first event. And best of luck to him into Eldar. Tom is a good Eldar player. I can't remember what list he's bringing now. Aspect Host. Yeah, I think I think the Aspect Host is still leading the way. Just again because of rerolls. But Wind Riders with the Outcast is an option because the Outcast is reconnaissance, and Eldar have the Wind Riders have all the speed in the game. They uppy downy, just like Grey Knights. They have 80-point units for 3 models, which move 14 and can advance and shoot, I believe. Can rapid ingress or can deep strike within 6. So they can get into all the nooks and crannies. So Wind Riders with Outcast is definitely a disposition combo to watch out for. But yeah, there's no fire dragons here. Yes, especially when you don't need them, but if you don't need them, then I would definitely look at a Avatar. And if you don't have those, yeah. Yeah, well, I know 10 Dark Reapers are very, very, very spicy. In this detachment, you can give them lethals on 5s, I think. They've got 48-inch range as well, so they tend to outrange most targets or most opponents. And obviously, they will be probably attached to an Autarch. Yes, but without the enhancement. So there is an enhancement that allows you to reroll the hit and the wound. And I would always carry that Autarch with me with a Dark Reaper unit. But yeah, this was into Jonathan, so best of luck to them both. We like to see it. John Higgins into John Kane. Now I'm interested in this one. So both players here are Clumsy Orc members. Both players have been playing their respective factions for a while. John Higgins plays Space Marines and John Kane plays Astra Militarum. What are the dispositions here? I've lost it again. I think he's doing reconnaissance. Where is he? John. Here we are. Reconnaissance. We got Purge the Foe versus Reconnaissance. Yeah. Yeah, for John. Yeah. Yes. However, he can hide. He can, move, and be in terrain and force you to come out and trade his really cheapish. I want to say cheapish units, but actually the 10 guardsmen are actually quite expensive now. So yeah, yeah. But he has got an uphill battle. He does have. Don't get me wrong. He's got all the guns as John, but not a lot of OC. No. Well, you say that, but actually, how many vehicles does K have? I don't think he has a lot. Nope. Ha, 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 ha. There is not a single vehicle here. Iron Hands. Yeah. Who? Oh, for Iron Hands. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he will do, won't he? He does not. No, no, because that's the one that gives you extra OC on your Terminators. Oh, right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it would be as well. It's got a repulsor, not a repulsor executioner, but that still is. Oh God, he's not brought all the. He's got a small onslaught Gatling cannon, macroplasma, onslaught Gatling cannon, plasma, laser destroyer, melters. He's yeah, for sure. This is. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But he's just gone into John, who's got not a single one, and he's going to be like, Just I got one. I think so. I'm not a massive guard. No, unfortunately. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. Enough crying. We're the Imperial Guard. It's time to start acting. All right, we got 145 points for 20 guardsmen. 5 points more buys me a Leman Russ, so they better do the same amount of damage. Yeah, he really does. Yeah, he really does. Yeah, he does. I'm a big John fan. And then Daniel Coghill versus Lewis Roberts. Again, these are both Clumsy Orc members, and obviously Daniel Coghill hasn't been down for a while. He's been busy studying away for his exams, but he is a good player. He has played World Eaters for a very, very long time. But has been out of it for a while. And then we've got Lewis Roberts, who plays League of Votan and pretty much only plays Leagues of Votan. Yeah, I do like him as well. I do like him. So we got priority assets versus Purge the Foe. Oh, again, it's a tough one. Yeah. Well, he's oh right, yeah, yeah. I can't see him. Oh right, yeah, yeah, fine. Yep, yeah. Well, it'll be the hackathon hold in the middle, won't it? No, no, no. Mm. Yeah, yeah. But that's the unit that's going to be doing all the damage of the Terminators. It'll be good. It'll be good. It's a really shame I'm not streaming it. I will do next time. Well, that's it. That's the roundup for the event on Saturday. I am like I said, these are all really hot matchups. I'm super excited for everybody. I am slightly jealous that I'm not participating. I would really like to get stuck in. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Well, I already increased the time for this one. Yeah, 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 yeah. I already had a feeling that everyone was going to want more time anyway. And whilst we do have a timer on, I don't force dice down. I will come over and have a chat, and I will try and help everybody walk around. It's only a small event. There's only 10 tables here, so it's not going to take me a lot of time to walk around and make sure everyone's like up and running and they know what they're doing. And help those that are struggling a little bit. That's a no-brainer. Goes without saying. But yeah, no, it should be good. It should be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Not off the top of my head. There has been, I guess, one of the main ones is the shoot and scoot. I guess that came up recently, where I think it was mentioned that when you deep strike, can you shoot and then move? Correct. Correct. But exactly. That's probably one of the main ones I'm not looking forward to. Um, I think I have got to go with my gut and just say it says that you can, and therefore it is outside of the restriction of not being able to move because it says you can't make a normal move. So I think what they're trying to do there is to stop you from, because obviously they changed when you deep strike now. So whenever you ingress now, it's now changed. So you can do it any part of your movement phase, and so you can do it at the beginning of your movement phase. And so what they've tried to make it clear is that if you deep strike or you ingress, you're not allowed to then move again. You can't make any sort of normal move. But what it says on the data sheet is, oh, once this unit has shot, we're outside of the movement phase now. Once this unit has shot, it can make a normal move. So it bypasses the rule of you can't move after making an ingress move because we're not in the movement phase. We're now in the shooting phase. And so at the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards yes, you can, shoot and scoot after you make an ingress move. But I feel the Games Workshop intent may have been the opposite. But as written as it is, there's nothing stopping you, in my opinion. Sure. No. The answer is no. The unit is dead. So yeah, that could come up. Another, there's obviously going to be a lot of different rules that people aren't aware of. For example, the pile-in, that everyone does the pile-in at the same time, and when you remove a model and it's you as the defender, it's your time to activate, and you want to fight. How many can fight? It's natural that you'll just want to do that pile-in again, and you can't. And the engagement range is 2 inches, and I think there's going to be a lot of people who forget that or aren't aware of it, and then there's going to be the opposite side of people who are very aware of it and do things in a certain way to try and get the maximum out of their attacks and reduce the number of attacks coming back. There's that as well. Go on. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Right. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah. Out of combat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That I think that goes to like much deeper into those sort of mechanics. I don't think a lot of people will be doing it. I think those are sort of the rules that come up when you're playing against a very experienced player, and they know exactly what they're doing. Again, I just don't think that something like that's going to come up very often. But yeah, no, little things like that. But outside of that, no, I'm not really. I don't think anything's going to come up at the weekend that I'm not really ready for. So no, I think it would just be a case of helping everyone get through the games. I think everyone here, I've spoken to most people in this list, and most players are just looking forward to just getting 3 games of the new 11th edition and getting that experience under the belt, so they can go forward, more confident, knowing some of the rules, because some of the rules for a lot of these players are still very, very grey, and hopefully I can point them in the right direction. That's the plan. Oh, you are done tomorrow night. Nice. You. Well, if you do, and there's a space enough for me to play, I'll bring my Eldar, and I will do recon for the giggles, just for the giggles. In which case, I'm bringing my space alternators. Yeah. You only get to play with one arm. The other one has to be always holding his wing. Yeah, no, great. Well, hey, John, thanks so much for joining in, man. It's been fantastic having you around. You've been a great sport. Loads of questions, really, really good ones. So, big thank you. Right, thanks so much for listening and tuning in. I will catch you next week. All right, see you later. Cheers, John. Cheers, Andy.